So the big question for many is, how does this young woman now, an 18-year-old girl, try to move forward? How does she cope with what's happened, and also what's next for her alleged kidnapper, the only mother she's known at this point, as far as we know? HLN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney Joey Jackson is with us, as well as psychotherapist Robi Ludwig, who's also the author of the book, Your Best Age Is Now. Good to have you both with us. So the three of us were discussing this as all the details were coming out last Friday as we were just learning about it. So now to hear from Kamiyah, what stands out to you, Robi, and what you hear from her as she's talking about not only this experience, but talking about this woman, Gloria Williams?
What stands out is that this girl is protecting the mother who raised her, the only mother that she's ever known. And we have to remember that she was a crime victim. We need to allow her the space to love the woman who raised her, even though she was a criminal. What she did was not right, but people are complex, so it's very possible this mother committed a criminal act, but was a loving mother to this child.
One of the other things that we learned in that interview, the reporter said that she didn't really want to get into the details. Kamiyah, who grew up, of course, as Alexis, didn't really want to get into the details of how or when she discovered the truth, and that there was perhaps some concern there that this could adversely affect or somehow impact Gloria Williams.
Right.
Could that happen, Joey?
She's protecting her mom, quote unquote, right? Not her mom, but a person she loves, a person by all measures has supported her and who's nurtured her and fed her. And so she's being very careful with regard to what she says and the negative impact it can have on the person she loves. Now, remember, you know, anything you say can and will be used doesn't only go for the person accused, but it goes to any information investigators, Erica, Dr. Robi, can glean from what else is out there. And so sure, she's going to be, you know, particularly from a lawyer's perspective, not to say too much.
Not to say too much. Is it healthy for her to be speaking out now?
It probably is very healthy. I mean, it certainly depends how people react to her. I mean, if she gets a lot of negativity, that would not be healthy. But for this woman to make sense of her story and to talk out and protect who she feels she needs to protect and to give herself time to love who she wants to love, I think is very important to her healing process.
What happens now from a legal perspective? Because we know, so Gloria Williams has been extradited. She's in Florida. These charges in Florida carry the possibility of a life sentence.
They really do. You know, it's really tough because now you have the prosecution, and the prosecution has the following position. Look, we have to punish this, and we have to deter others who might engage in similar behavior. You know why? Because the world is watching. And if we just say she's a loving parent, she supported her all her life, she's a wonderful human being, what message does that send to others? Will now people line up in hospitals and say, you know, if I support and love my child, I will be excused too? So I think it's not an affirmative defense to have, of course, this wonderful Kamiyah say my mom was wonderful, but it goes to the issue of what we lawyers call mitigation, to help to lessen the punishment. Life is an awful long time. And so if she can, that is her daughter, quote unquote, go and say to the prosecutors, you know what, we need to do something better, perhaps they'll consider that. They're not required to, though.
There's also the question of, so we're learning that police, the way I understand it, so they actually went to the school where Kamiyah was enrolled, and that's how they discovered that her birth certificate, that her social security card were not in fact hers.
Right.
Could there be additional charges filed against Gloria Williams?
Sure, there could be, but make no mistake about it. You know, is it likely that because of the, you know, a fake passport or a fake birth certificate or fake medical records or anything out there that's fake, could there be additional charges? Yes, but that would be piling on. The major charge here is that kidnapping charge. It's a life felony. It carries, you know, a significant penalty, so anything else would just be part of the investigatory process.
And the psychological piece is it may be too soon for Kamiyah to be angry, but she was raised by somebody she loved who lied to her, and she was raised on a lie. So eventually she's going to have to make sense out of, do people who love me lie to me? And that's going to be a longer process for her.
And what about this, the possibility of relationship with her biological parents? Is that something, I mean, there's no handbook for this.
No, there isn't. And basically they are strangers to her. So I think she could certainly take a page out of the handbook for people who are adopted and then search for their birth family. You know, give themselves all time to get to know each other and to discover who everybody is, give each other time to love each other, if that is in case how it works out. But I think it's a process of time and giving people space and understanding that it's a new relationship. These people, even though they're biologically related, are virtual strangers.
And that's a tough thing.
Yeah.
Well, we will be hearing more, as we know. Robi Ludwig and Joey Jackson, always good to have you guys here for your expertise.
Pray
Thank
for
you
the best.
both.
Hope for the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.